Welcome to Scuba Facts, episode 5 of the SkuberFacts Show. What do you know? What do you say? So it's been a little bit of time since I recorded, a couple of weeks, something like that, but I've just been getting used to this new routine that I'm working with. Man, I get 2 days off a week. 2 days off a week. Who'd have ever thought I'd be so lucky? However, as previously discussed, my 2 days off a week are spent looking after the baby. So, you know, when you win some, you lose some, but she's awesome. And there's worse things than having to look after your own child, you know? So we've got a special guest producer. Check him out over there. There he is. Bernie Sanders. Looks like he wants to be literally anywhere else, but he's here. He's here, guest producing the show. So I mean, it was crazy seeing the inauguration.
And once again, asking for your financial support. As I think all of you know, we don't have a super
Bernie, not now. Fundraise on your own time, Bernie. So the inauguration. I mean, no, it's all a load of rubbish to me. Both sides just as bad as each other. Bunch of evil empires, no rebellions. I mean, I guess you could say that there is a rebellion. Meme culture rebellion. So we got some amazing Bernie Sanders memes. There he is. Look at him. I know this is a little bit late, by the way. I ain't trying to be cutting edge on this. I know the Bernie Sanders wave has passed a little bit, but I think we've got a strong contender for meme of the year in January. I mean, what else can 2021 bring? Man, look at him. He literally doesn't want to be there. It's like another picture of him where he's been to collect mail. He just used it as an occasion to go to his office. There's Bernie sat on, what's that? Was that famous picture? Is that the New York Empire State Building, right? That's what they're building there. There's Bernie. Boba Fett showing Din Djarin. Bernie sat there. Bernie with Grogu sending out a message for a Jedi to come and help. Maybe that's what this whole thing needs. It needs Jedi, although they didn't do too well when Palpatine overthrew the Galactic Republic. Yeah, so I don't think that's the right way to go with this, Bernie. Perhaps run as an independent, shake up the system. That's one of my favourites. Oh man, I love that one. Bernie putting that solid armbar on. And Rogan and the other commentators going crazy. So staying on American culture, American stuff. I saw this quote. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Martin Luther King Jr. And I believe that was posted on Martin Luther King Jr. Day or birthday. I'm British. I don't know what you guys over there celebrate. But check this out. This is the weird part. Partly false information. The same information was reviewed by independent fact checkers in another post. And I thought, okay, that's weird, right? So here's the partly false part. The Australian Associated Press, for some reason, concluded that this was partly false because no proof quote was made by Martin Luther King Jr. So I'm like, well, I mean, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. So I guess it's misrepresentative to say that Martin Luther King Jr. said it if he didn't say it. Well, that's a nice quote, right? What's the harm? It's not like it's anti-civil rights or something out of the realms that he would have said. So I just thought that was really weird. So I checked it out, and here is, I think, this is Snopes, and Snopes can be a little bit misleading sometimes. If Snopes is your number one spot for proving whether things are real or not real, then you need to do a little bit more research. But this Snopes article basically says that although he didn't say those words, the sentiment has been echoed. So I think a quote that was quite close to what he says: a man dies when he refuses to stand up for which is right. A man dies when he refuses to stand up for justice. A man dies when he refuses to take a stand for that which is true. Now, I mean, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Yeah, it's paraphrased, but really, was that really worth being flagged up by social media? It's like saying that every motivational quote should be flagged because technically there's no proof that person said that quote while running. I don't know, it's different because Martin Luther King Jr. was a real person. He actually made quotes. But I don't know, man. That was just a weird one for me. Like, I think it's probably important that information is verified so that people can't just go making claims that people said things. Like, if that was a quote against the civil rights movement, then it would be relevant to say, hey, he never actually said this, but geez, come on, man. The social media police can do better than that. Yeah, I don't know, man. That was lost on me. Kind of made me laugh, though. A little bit of Star Wars talk. So, I've been watching... I mean, I'm always kind of watching Star Wars in one way or another, but every time I watch Revenge of the Sith, it's like... It's depressing. I mean, I love it, but it's a depressing way to end a movie. I mean, the bad guys win. I can't think of another movie where the bad guys ultimately win. And yeah, I know in later movies, the good guys win. And bad guys, good guys. It's a perspective thing, but I'm pretty sure we could agree the Empire are bad guys, right? So, I mean, Thanos wins at the end of Infinity War, but I always feel like Infinity War and Endgame are essentially one movie split into two. I don't know if you can quite class Thanos, clicking as being, bad guys winning. Can you think of any other movies where the bad guys win? Let's check out, see what Google says. I mean, it's an article from vulture.com, and number one is right there. Oh, low battery. Jeez. Charge your iPad, Skooba. So number one we got right there, Revenge of the Sith. I haven't seen any of these. No Country for Old Men. Man, I heard somebody else, I think, who was talking about that? Bill Burr and Bert Kreischer were talking about that on a podcast, and I need to watch that again. But yeah, I guess there's a case there. The Usual Suspects. Yeah, that's kind of right, I guess. So I mean, there's some out there, but I think the difference with Revenge of the Sith is just that it's an all-out culmination of a trilogy, which results in the bad guys winning. Man, I mean, in spectacular fashion. The Jedi have been around for thousands of years, and to be all but wiped out by a sinister political plot. I mean, what does that tell us? And that's something we need to watch out for. I heard somebody else talking about Revenge of the Sith, saying that nobody considered the psychological effects of separating Luke and Leia at birth, because they're twins and they're separated, and what a detrimental effect that could possibly have on their upbringing. And this is an annoying thing where people put our world views into the Star Wars universe, because yeah, I guess if you're talking about kids who have been separated at birth in our society, but we're talking about two kids who they're Vader's kids. You know what I mean? Keeping them together. I mean, arguably, if he thought they were dead, would keeping them together have been that bad? Maybe it would have been better. But I don't know, man. I mean, would keeping them together have made them more detectable? Hiding one of them on Vader's home planet with his family. I wonder if he ever went back. I mean, he can't have ever gone back. But why wouldn't he have gone back? What reason would he have had, I suppose? It's something that I've considered a few times when it comes to Star Wars, because obviously now we've got the prequels. So in what order should you watch the Star Wars movies? Like, if you've got a child now, where do you start? Do you start at episode 1 and go through? Or do you start at episode 4 and then go do the prequels and then the sequels? And I don't want to hear nobody saying, the sequels are bad fan fiction. Just live with it. They're gonna retcon some stuff. They exist. Just get on with it. If you don't like them, move on. But in what order do you watch? I guess there's a case for both, because my brother has been watching the Star Wars films with his daughter. And when I asked him where he started from, he said he started from episode 4 because he thought it might be a bit weird for his daughter to go from kind of modern day filmography to a 1977 film. And I think that's valid, because I think you would kind of be disappointed if you went from episode 3 to episode 4, because they're very different styles of films. So he started with number 4. So check out this moment of the Vader reveal to Luke Skywalker. Spoiler alert. No, check her out. Shocked. But I think that's kind of cute. So, obviously, the weird thing is, if you're an adult and you've never seen Star Wars, because of the cultural zeitgeist, I don't know if I'm using that word right, then you'll be aware that Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. I feel like Star Wars has probed so far into pop culture. You would have seen a Simpsons episode. You would have seen something somewhere which told you. So in that circumstance, I think it would be a good idea to start from episode 1 and work your way through, because you've got a different understanding. Whereas I think if you're watching it with a kid, I think you've definitely got to go from episode 4 and then show the prequels and then the sequels. I don't care if you don't like the sequels, you still got to accept that they exist. But yeah, man, that's really cute. And when it gets time for my daughter to be watching Star Wars, then I will almost certainly be going for episode 4. I think that's the right choice. So Netflix put up their price again. In the UK, you need a TV license to watch broadcast television, and that's a law. However, I don't need a TV license because I don't watch broadcast television. I don't watch live TV. I've got no interest in your reality shows filled together with adverts for loans or other stupid stuff. It's bad enough I've got to watch the occasional advert on YouTube, but at least I feel like when I'm watching adverts on YouTube, I feel like I'm contributing to a creator, you know? So anyway, back to the point I was making. Netflix. Netflix has been my go-to provider of content for, let's just say, years. So when I first started watching Netflix, you know, the first show I ever watched was Lilyhammer, and I still love that show. And then we had Orange is the New Black, we had House of Cards, we had some real quality shows. But now, I don't know, man. I still like Netflix, and more importantly, I'll keep Netflix. I'll take the price increase because, man, I just watch Netflix when I'm going to sleep every night. And if nothing else, I'll watch it for that. I watch Archer, I watched Rick and Morty, I watch BoJack Horseman, and those are just my go-to shows, and more often than not, it's just Rick and Morty. But geez, man, Netflix just feels like if you're not a 14-year-old who loves gay people, then I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like give me some more content that appeals to a 35-year-old man. You know, not everything's got to be magic and transsexuals. Jeez, man. Just, I don't know, man. Maybe it's time. Can you get HBO? Can you get HBO? I hear a lot of people talking about HBO. Can you get the HBO streaming service in the UK? I'm going to have to check that out because there seems like a lot of good content on that. So I see on the Netflix Instagram, and I check the comments quite a lot. I don't know why I do it to myself, but there's always people saying stuff like, bring back Gossip Girl, bring back Vampire Diaries. And I just feel like, just buy it. Go on Amazon, buy it, and it's literally yours. I don't know. Streaming isn't the only option. You can actually just go and buy a show. I mean, if I go into my iTunes library, my old I don't think it's not even iTunes anymore, is it? If I go into my TV shows, I've got all sorts of stuff that I purchased and will never watch again. Where is it? I don't even know where. I can't even find my purchased videos. I got music videos. I don't know, man. It's here somewhere. But yeah, buy stuff. Consumerism. That's the game, right? Am I the only person that hates other people using the Netflix account? Like, no, okay, scratch that. I don't mind sharing my account. What I hate is people using my profile, because my profile suggests things that Netflix thinks that I would like to watch, or at least it used to. I don't really feel like it suggests things that much anymore. But I say that, but if I go onto like my wife's profile, much different things get suggested. So clearly those algorithms are still in place. But man, Netflix, bring a password function to the profiles. Let me put a password on my profile. So then when my wife's parents are so kindly watching my daughter while I'm at work, which I appreciate, but they can't accidentally go onto my profile and mess up all my recommendations. You know, Netflix, put a password on. Well, anyway, I guess it's not the end of the world, right? You know, something that's really annoyed me, and it's not annoyed me as a consumer because I've not tried to buy one yet, but this release of PS5s has been terrible. I mean, these scalping bots that are just like buying them up, just bam, bam, bam. As soon as new places have stock, the scalping bots are buying them up. Stop buying from scalpers. if everybody just stopped paying double, triple for PS5s, there would be enough to buy them at retail. But yeah, something needs to change, right? I mean, it can't be that difficult for companies to ask customers to prove they're a real person. Or do you just limit one purchase per bank account? Not per transaction, but per bank account. I mean, that can't be difficult, can it? Or I don't know, man. There's got to be an answer, but you can't just let people scalpers. I don't know. Have you managed to get a PS5? I know Scott managed to get one. So when we're playing Fallout 76, he's going to be on PS5. I'll be on PS4. That there is cross-platform. Actually, somebody at work asked me, because they've been playing Fallout 76 from the beginning, from release, but he plays on PC. Let's check this out. Unfortunately, no. Fallout 76 does not feature crossplay across Xbox One, PS4, and PC. That's from 29th of May 2020. So we've got crossplay between PS4 and PS5, but not PS4 and PC. That's a shame, man. We need to see more crossplay. But speaking of Fallout 76, so Fallout 76 is finally in the works. It looks like it's just me and Scott that are going to be on board. I'm hoping Wadey will watch us playing and want to be in on it. I think you'll want to be Wadey, and then maybe we can get Daryl involved as well. Because then, I think 4 hours running around the wasteland, doing crazy stuff. I think that could be fun. But there was an offer on the deluxe edition on the PSN store, so I looked, and it was like 46 gig, and I thought, yeah, for 46 gig, I'll download that. Man, it's turned into like, I don't know, maybe there's add-ons and patches. There almost certainly is, but it's turned into like 100 plus. I've had to delete games just to download it. So man, I've been stung by the digital download again, and it got me thinking. I've been stung 2 or 3 times on digital downloads. I remember when GTA 5 came out, when it first came out. I think it was the release night, and we'd sat up until like midnight or whatever, and we got it on the digital. And this is PlayStation 3. This was the very first release of GTA 5. And I downloaded it, and it wouldn't install. Not enough hard disk space. So if I remember right, I tried to get a refund and couldn't, because I literally clicked the button to ignore the warning where it said you do not have enough disk space for this. Oh, man. So when GTA 5 came out, I brought the digital version £50, and then I'm pretty sure the day after we went to Game and brought the hard copy for another £50. I don't know if I ever got that refund. I'll have to go onto my PSN and see, because if I never got it refunded, it'll still be on there, right? Hey, speaking of Game, and is it the same company? Is Game in the UK the same company as GameStop in the US? Hey, let's check that out first. No, I don't think it is. Anyway, so speaking of Game, GameStop stock, GME. Now, if you're anything like me and you listen to a few different podcasts and you watch a few channels, everybody's been talking about this. So I am not the guy who's going to explain how shorting stocks works, but I was not on board with this from the start. And I got to be honest, as it went on, I'm glad that some people made money. Those initial guys who pumped, really made some good money, but then I couldn't get on board, just because at some point somebody's going to be left holding worthless stock, and that's not fair. And I hope people didn't buy into the hype too much. If you were reading about it on Twitter, it was probably too late to invest. I'm sure there are exceptions to that. I'm sure people's made some money, and I think this is a little picture that I saw. And when it comes to the back end of the GME situation, this really sums it up for me. Wall Street bets going after the hedge funds, going after you. And if you're buying GME stock late, then that's you at the bottom getting eaten up. Here's an interesting discovery. So I saw this meme flying around. It's just the Stonks guy. And I was walking past some pictures that we've got hanging up in the house. And I made this discovery. There's me. I'm the Stonks guy. What do you think about that? I'm the Stonks guy. Yeah. nothing more to that. Just me as the stonks guy. So I've been doing a bit of trading, a little bit of stocks, and I'm not going to really be giving too many updates on that because, check it. I'm from the world where you don't post what you got on IG. And if you do, you better have a damn good security system because I'm from the world where you're watching people and you're going to take that money off them. I don't know, man. Be humble. It's cool. If you're bragging on Instagram, you got to live your life. You got to be happy. But I don't know, man. There's always somebody who ain't making as much as you who wants to take that from you. Trust me, that world exists. Yeah, so one thing that's been cheering me up, because obviously I do delivery driving. That's how I make my money currently. So I've been liking watching some videos of UPS guys having various occupational hazards. Check this guy getting chased by a dog. Man, I got bit once. And to be fair, I'd gone into this dog's yard, and I'd delivered to this house before. So it seems that this time the dog was loose, and it was a big German Shepherd, and it came running around the corner and just cornered me. And it was just bam, it was on my leg, it bit me, jumped back off, and as soon as I come to my senses, man, I was like, yo. So this is the way that I look at it. I don't want to hurt an animal, especially a dog, man. I love dogs. But if you're a big ass German Shepherd and you got me cornered in a corner, I will fight you. I will fight a dog. Whether I'd win or lose, what are your options? Don't fight and cower. I don't think dogs respect cowards. But yeah, man, that dog got me. I saw him recently, actually. Good guy, just protecting his house. Can't blame the dog, right? And they put numerous signs up on the house. And at the time, they were like, oh, really sorry, but there was a sign up, and I did ignore it. But I see loads of those signs, and you just think, you're just trying to scare away potential burglars. But nope, that one was legit. But I wasn't going to, call the police or nothing. Jeez. Annoyingly, that was the first time I had to take antibiotics in 15 years. And I begrudged everybody. Everybody said, oh, no, man, you got to take antibiotics. Because if the dog got you, man, that could have caused some real problems. Blah, 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 blah. The antibiotics made me feel far worse. Who's to say? The doctor did say, to be fair, that chances are that because it was through clothing, any saliva from the dog's bite might have got trapped on the fabric of the trousers. But everybody recommended that I take antibiotics. First time in 15 years I had to take antibiotics, so I don't know, not a bad one, I suppose. So I was saying a couple of episodes ago how I hadn't slept over on the ice, still haven't, but check this UPS guy in America out. Now, this guy's a hero. I mean, one thing I don't quite understand, and maybe it's just the way that the camera looks. Maybe that whole drive was ice, but it looks to me that it's completely unfrozen. Just to the right of him. Well, screen left, but But check this guy out. What a maneuver. What a hero. Little thumbs up at the end. He scoots back down. That is a guy who's committed to his role. Man, that was cool. So what have we got for this week's Scuba Facts? What have we talked about? Bernie Sanders memes. Is that going to be the meme of 2021? Can that be beaten? What do you think? Give me a comment. Let me know. And I guess the other scuba fact this week can be watch Star Wars from episode 4. Yeah. I don't think it makes sense to start from episode 1 unless you're watching it with an adult. If you're watching it with okay, so that's the scuba fact. If you're watching Star Wars for the first time as an adult, start from episode 1 because you're going to be aware that Darth Vader is Luke's father, and you get to see that child turn into Darth Vader, redeem himself, and then inspire his nephew, or is it nephew? No, grandson. Yeah. The sequels exist. Get over it. Cool. Thank you for watching, guys. Drop me a like, drop me a subscribe, give me a comment, let me know anything you want me talking about. I'm just still getting on here, making some notes through the weeks, or however long it's taking me to record. I will be recording more. We're going to have a Fallout 76 series coming. Once all this lockdown rubbish has stopped, then I can get the Sega Mega Wade round to do some actual retro gaming, and we can play some of those classics that we want to get through. want to get through all the Alex kids. We want to get through all the Sonics. You know, we're going to do some more gaming and stuff like that. So, but for now, you just have to put up with me talking to myself in the camera. But I'm enjoying it. Sometimes it's hard to find the motivation just to get on and do something. But I'm just in a position of my life where I need some more than just a day-to-day grind of working, looking after my baby. You know, it's nice to have a little bit of something else to focus on. So thank you for the viewers that I do have. It is nice. And if you've got to this point in the video, then you are a regular viewer, and I do appreciate you. And hopefully there'll be more of you coming up. I don't get focused on numbers. Every view I love, every like I love. But I'm thinking I'm in this for the long game, and I'm hopefully going to develop with the technologies. And who knows, maybe in 10 years' time, we'll all be sitting there in some kind of virtual, I don't know, man, scenario where we're sat talking, or I don't know. It's going to be something. And I can even hear my baby downstairs crying or laughing. If it's one, it'll be the other soon. So I'm going to go. See you guys. Thanks.